Welcome back to another episode of Mansplaining. Today we will be mansplaining the hairy beaver to the socially inept. Let's begin. Nah, it's just a video about a motorcycle and an idiot narrating it. Let's begin, huh? Right, so it's day 26 of the lockdown. I've successfully buried all the corpses in the backyard. And I have pleasured myself to such a degree that it's fallen off. So I thought, let's make a video. Right, we'll be doing this in stages. What this is I'll be going through each of the upgrades and I'll be giving you the pros and cons. There will be no install videos because laziness, the usual explains. Let's begin. The handlebar. The original handlebar does no longer fit because... Too much German today. Anyway, the original handlebar doesn't fit because the person who had it last, he cored it out. So that doesn't fit anymore. So what you're looking at is a Pro Taper Adventure High bar, one of the fatties, which fits sort of. Unfortunately, there was always a space on top here. By the way, don't you just love my little stick? Yeah, it's got a red tip just for you ladies. Anyway, to make this thing fit, what I did, I just took a couple of copper spaces, bent them, inserted them, and tightened. And that works pretty damn well. In terms of the riding position, it's sort of aggressive, sort of relaxed, nice in-betweener. Definitely a worthwhile upgrade. I also like the Pro Taper is not yellow, it's nice and gray, black, gray, white. Very classy. Next. I have already spoken about the tires, the Michelin Commander 2s. Beautiful tires, plenty of grip, they're lighter, very good. Modification, I have changed the OEM brake pads to SBS brake pads and the stopping power of the front brake is greatly increased. Same goes for the rear. Also changing the entire fluid does help a bit, especially on this ABS-enabled motorcycle. Coming then to the suspension. Look, this is a 2015 bike. They didn't have the cartridge type, which got introduced in the 2018 Scout Bobbers. So all what you've got here is actually rudimentary, a normal compression spring in ATF fluid. Yes, I did say ATF fluid because there is no other explanation what that fluid was that was originally in here. It was brown, it stank, it was incredible. So the upgrade I've purchased off Revzilla.com. You may sponsor this video at your leisure. The company's name is Progressive and they make progressive fork springs. So very easy to do. You loosen that, you take it off, you drain all the disgusting fluid out, you take off the original spring, you insert the nice spring, and you add 20 weight fork oil. What does this do? Well, in the OEM configuration, your spring, just going over normal tar road, was doing this. Basically, a 11-year-old boy who just found out what his thing between his legs is and is doing that. Now, going over the same surface, it's more like an elderly gentleman who knows his time of erections is running out. Wow, geez, this video quality went downhill quickly. Worthwhile upgrade, definitely recommended. Especially going over bumps, shocks, it's really more comfortable, okay? A lot of Scout owners changed this also from the halogen to an LED. Look, I'm not a fan of this ring, but when this thing's on, you don't even see that ring, and it does throw out a good light. Now, this came with the bike. I've got no idea. I suppose you can get these at AliExpress. What is it, a 5.75-inch headlight? Easy to do. Another upgrade. Radiator protector. And all this is an aluminum mesh. I cut to size and just put in front of the radiator. It's an extra protection against rocks, to protect the fins. Going to the bottom. That is a Barnett clutch cable. And the main difference is it's got a metal elbow here. where the original was just, looped here and could chafe on the inside. In terms of quality, very good. Clutch pull, there's not a lot of difference. I mean, if you take the OEM and oil it like I did and then compare it to this thing, it's roughly the same, except this is now a new clutch cable and bonnet is very good quality, so it'll last, it won't snap. So, smallish upgrade. Now coming to the rear suspension. These are also by Progressive. These are not the 414, these are the 413, so basically the cheaper versions. The original OEMs, let me put it this way, every time you went over a bump, this bike smacked your ass, like a stripper, the last hour of the night. Very uncomfortable. Remember, this bike already weighs 260 kilos, so imagine that unsprung weight hitting you in the ass a couple of times. Your wife's punishment is nothing compared to it. With these, it is greatly reduced. The ride quality is also a lot better. I personally just leave them as is in OEM stock configuration because I don't even have the masturbation muscle to twist this to adjust the preload, so that's fine. I have spoken about the rear brake, SBS brake pad, very good. Coming back to the controls, you're looking at ODI Cush, what is it called, grips. I like these because A, they're very grippy and they've got a lot of rubber to them. This is just a throwback from my touring days, which also helps for the laziness. These are a couple of Oxford sliders, because if I lay this thing down, these things will snap off first. These are aluminum or forged or whatever levers, which you can get off AliExpress. I like them because the originals didn't have adjustments, where this one does. So you can adjust them up and down. And the brake cylinder caps came with the kit, so better than nothing. The only drawback is this one's okay, you can read that, but this one's Hong Kong. I mean, who's going to read that, huh? It's supposed to be the other way around. Yeah. Coming to the crux of the matter, or the backside of it, I took off the leather seat because I didn't like the brown, it clashed a little bit. Went to my local upholsterer who agreed leather is a bad idea, especially when it rains, because you'll be riding on a wet fanny the whole way through. Boys don't have a fanny. If you don't know about this, I suggest you speak to your mother and father, have the talk. Right. This one I pretty much left just recovered. Here, you're dealing with an extra 1 or 2 centimeters of memory foam. Very nice for your posterior, because that is one of the things the Scout is known for. It is not kind to your backside, all right? The OEM seat is already uncomfortable. I mean, during the demo ride, my ass fell asleep after, 20, 30 minutes. With this one, once you get comfortable and the seat is contoured to your backside, you can ride this thing for days, or at least, for the hour before you got to take a mandatory break. Coming to that, ergonomics, handlebar, seat, and foot peg extensions. Now, I had to order these from eBay. And all it is, it's basically a long steel bracket. That's all it is. You can manufacture this yourself. Basically, just a bracket like that, 1, 2, 3 holes, and you've got it. With this kit, you get a longer brake line for the rear brake. Not necessary, because where it terminates in the back here, there's actually a loop, which is from the factory, basically goes over a plate like this, but the plate has got a cutout. So you just move that cable into the cutout and you've got enough cable. So you don't even need to change that. On the other side though, you will need one of these rods, a longer one. Else it's too short and you can't hook up the clutch pedal. And again, same story here, you can see it even better. All it is basically an aluminum plate with 3 holes in it. Easily to manufacture by yourself. Next modification I'm actually very proud of, the indicators. Now these are wunderlich. wunderlich as in I wonder why I spent so much money on them, but definitely worth it. They look fantastic. Build quality is right up there, and they really suit the bike as well. And they are 100% very bright, functional. So safety-wise, very good. I only had to put an extra bolt or nut here to make sure the spacing came out so it didn't rub into the seat like it was before. Coming to the electrics, a brand new Motobat battery. I did try the lithium-ion Motobats, but they really don't like this bike. This bike draws a little bit of current, and if there's one thing the Motobats don't like, it's constant current draw. So the electronics basically switch the battery off, and then you got to take it to a charger, reactivate it, and then you can start the bike. I was stranded in Heidelberg because of that, so I went back to AGM battery. And performance cranking wise, even when it's cold, one push, she's there. So avoid lithium ions, please. The technology is great, lighter, smaller, all that good stuff, but wait until the manufacturer's actually included with the bikes, like Honda is doing with its new Africa Twin. And then the air filter. I bought this. So, new air filter, custom exhaust, Power Commander. And a big shout out to Power Commander. I sent them a mail saying, look, this is the stuff I've put on. I'm in Johannesburg. This is how many feet above sea level. And within 12 hours, they sent me a custom flash tune file. And I first went for the original file, flashed, which basically ups the RPM, deletes a couple of restrictions. And then you put on the custom tune file. And I also asked them to take the idling RPM when warm down from, 1400, 1200 to 1000 RPM. So it goes 950, 1000. It sounds like a machine gun, Bop, 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 bop. Reload. Bop, 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 bop. Really quite relaxes the bike. And fuel efficiency with the Power Commander, I average now 4.4 to 4.6 100. And this is me, the guy with the heavy-handed throttle. Sure, can you believe it? It's amazing. Other than that, I mentioned front wheel bearings, back wheel bearings, drive bearings, all replaced. Oil 10W60, there's no problem with it. The engine runs very quiet with liqui moly, full synthetic, hundreds. New air filter, you do hear the breathing noise of the engine more, but it's fantastic. After the Power Commander flashing, gentlemen, you pull from the line this thing, wow. I mean, the speedometer is laughable. I mean, at 120, fine. But as soon as you go down here, you don't know what your speed is. And I think Indian, that was their train of thought because, hey, you're already over the speed limit. You don't care about what your speed is going anyway, which I agree to. But other than that, owning an Indian Scout, I'm very surprised of the engine because it is very relaxed. In sixth gear, doing 120 kilometers an hour, she idles at about 3,900 RPMs, 4,000 RPMs. The power band, however, only happens at 4,500 RPMs. So this engine, there's really no stress on it if you're cruising. I would expect this thing to last damn near forever if you service it on a regular interval. Really. Other maintenance checks though. Coolant, I still need to do. It's on the to-do list. Air filter is a custom one, so that's just cleaning and oiling. Oil I've spoken about. And the belt adjustment, very easy to do. Look, I'm still... okay, I've always been a chain guy. Belt drive is something new to me. But I can understand why when you get older you buy a Harley or these belt drives because you don't have to do anything anymore. It's really for the lazy. That being said, Indian Scout, if you don't have back problems and you are not a tall freak like me, this will be a very good bike for you. But I gotta say, the seat needs improvement. Okay, this is a 2015 model. I'm sure the newer ones don't give you as much back issue, but it's a pain in the ass. Fuel range, I have no idea. I got to 200 kilometers an hour and I just kept on filling it up. Look at 4.6 liters 100 with a, what is this, 12-liter tank? Yeah, so close to 280 I'd get out of this. Wind protection, even without a windshield, very decent actually. Look, as long as it's not heavy blowing wind, that sort of thing, you won't even feel that much buffeting. Even at 120, 130. I can only imagine if you drive this in winter how cold your backside and your nuts are going to be. But regardless, I'm very surprised at the build quality and the ride quality now that I've upgraded the suspension. So do I want to change this bike to something else? Maybe, because I have it in my mind now that I only want two bikes. One is the Enduro, and two, possibly another adventure bike. Unfortunately, you can't take this to the trails because you've got maybe a hand width of space under there. And can you corner with it? Yeah, I know. Especially when you corner and you let sparks go. So that's a drawback. You don't scrape the pegs first, you scrape the exhaust. But hey. Things that make me smile about this bike. Sound of the engine. Vance and Hines, brilliant sound in the morning, really wake the neighbors, especially now during lockdown when nobody can get out and ride their motorcycle. And yes, I am, necessary service, call it that. And if you really rev this thing to its maximum, pull the clutch, shift, the engine goes vroom. I love that. It's like the engine says, come on, don't interrupt me. Let's go. Shift, shift, shift. Give me more gas. Kill the planet. Kill the planet. Love it. Really. I never thought a cruiser would appeal to me, but this one does. So that's the video basically. Other than that, taking care of it, very easy. Matte finish. Obviously, you don't wax that. To get a mirror polish shine like this, I used Meguiar's Ultimate Polish and Turtle Wax cleaning wax. Works brilliantly. And you can use it on pretty much anything. Polishing, I don't have a belt polisher yet or table polisher, so the exhaust is what it is. Oh, and lastly, when this thing is warmed up, my son already made that experience. This, extremely hot. This, extremely hot. Du sitzt auf einem Feuerstuhl. You sit on a fire chair, okay? So get off this thing with a wide arc unless your bell bottoms catch fire. Okay, any questions about this bike? I do respond to your comments as long as they are reasonable, deconstructive criticism and insults. I do respond to those as well. If you have got any questions or would you like to see anything done to this bike, maybe run it against the stone pillar, mention it to me and I'll be glad to make a video when the spirit touches me. Till next time, goodbye. Yeah, spare me the comments. I know what you all want. What's it sound like? Here we go. 3, 2, 1.